Hello all, welcome to our SPSS tutorial series. This is the first one. In this one, I will give you a brief introduction to SPSS, and it will be helpful for you to get yourself familiarized with the program once you get to computer lab and start using the program. So as you can see, here is the SPSS icon. So let's click on that and see what happens. This is the first opening, and you can see the version number here. It is important when you are reporting which version you used after you do some research, but let's skip that part now. So there are several pages that are open right now. The first one is Welcome to IBM SPSS Statistics. You don't have to see this always. You can click on this and close, and you will never see this again. But it can be helpful from several point of view. For example, you can open your data set by clicking here, and also you can restore your previous analysis if you suddenly close the program or if your computer crashed. So you can access your recent analysis from here and recover your file if it is saved on your computer. And then you have your recent files that you used, and then you have here list of sample files. IBM prepares these sample files for us, and it has guidance to guidance for how to conduct several analysis. And for these guidances, IBM uses these prepared data sets. So you can just click one of them and follow their guideline, or you can just use them and play with the data as much as you want. So let's close this here. It's not really that important. Here now we have two other screens. The first one is Output 1, Document 1, IBM SPSS Statistics Viewer, and then you have this untitled dataset 01. So about the first one, this is the data set. This is your main page, and I will tell you a lot about this main page today. But what you need to do is, just do not feel overwhelmed. We are going to talk about each aspect one by one. But this window here is about analysis. So when we do analysis, our results will show here. You can consider this like a notebook where you see your analysis, you repeat them, you can also save these notebooks. And I will teach you about how to use this output file window effectively later on. For now, I'm just lowering the screen. Yes, let's start. This is the first bit. So I'll try to make this video as concise as possible so you're not gonna get bored, but I don't know. I would like to also tell you like specific details. For example, if you wonder which version you are using, you can just click on here. And of course, I'm using Mac, and if you're using Microsoft, the setting could be slightly different, but still you will have the same options. And the second thing is the programs in our labs are Turkish. Mine is English, and I'm teaching in English as well. So I'm using the English version, but you will see like the Turkish version is exactly the same. And actually, you can do some settings here. If you click on here, there's language. You can change the output language, user interface. As you can see here, do I have Turkish? I don't even have Turkish here. Anyways, I wish I could change, and you can see the Turkish one as well. So anyways, you can kind of decide on the font sizes, font types. You can do some, configurations here, but we don't really play much with these options to be honest. You can check your file locations. This is important when you are saving your files. You can kind of make sure you are saving the files to the proper locations in your computer. And you have general. So I'm skipping this part. There's nothing much really to do here for now. So at the file section, this menu gives you options to open data sets. When I say data set, maybe you never saw a data set before. So data set looks like this, you know, it's pretty much like the Excel file, and I hope you're familiar with that. So you can open your data files from here, and then also you can import data from different file types. You don't always have to have SPSS file type. You can import data from Excel, CSV, text data. This might be unfamiliar to you right now, but as you learn more during your years at our university, you will have more idea about this. Maybe during our courses, I will just teach you about Excel and then the SPSS data file as well. This is where you just save your data. I'm not gonna delve into the specifics of others. We are not gonna use these much. About the edit section, they actually pretty much here as well. So I'll tell you more about this top place here, but you access them here as well. You kind of decide on what you want to view or what you don't want to view. The data part is important. We are going to learn some skills from here. For example, defining variables, sorting variables, transposing, splitting cases, files. We will learn some skills from here. And this is where you clean your data, arrange your data before the analysis. Transform is sometimes we have variables, but we want to put them in analysis in a different way. For example, maybe you have 10 questions that you ask your participants and you want to calculate the total score, or you have an age variable and you want to turn it into um, different kind of grouping. So we transform data through this menu as well. And then the majority of things happen around here. But to be honest, even for master's level or like PhD level, um, you are not gonna use a lot of tests. Um, in our lectures, we are gonna focus first on descriptive statistics. These are the things we learned during our second week. Maybe you can remember frequency tables, frequencies, descriptive statistics, means, standard deviations. We kind of do these analysis here. And if you remember, I told you it will take you a few seconds to calculate these things. So this is where you find these things. And then we might learn about correlation and then regression and also compare means and proportions. Also, we will learn about non-parametric tests as well. The rest is not really, too much, we can learn. But I hope we will kind of learn about these things in our first semester, in our second semester as well. I hope you remember graphs as well. We talked about bar charts, line graphs, and pie charts and histograms. This is graphs are about visualizing your data. This is how you do this. You can do these things through analyze section as well for some, but these are the places we use for creating graphs. I'm skipping utilities. You're not really using this part and extensions and window. You're not really using these things. You might use the help part when you click on SPSS support. Um, just let me click for you. SPSS support. I will see where it is. Yes. So as you can see, there are some resources here. You can get help or access to guidelines and stuff from here as well. There should be a built-in version as well, but I couldn't find it for now. Anyways, let's close that. So we have this screen here. That's nice screen. I will start from very basics. We went through all the menu options here. Now we are going to learn about entering data, uh, entering variables and variable types, and how we can effectively use this screen very briefly. So the columns are your variables, like age or gender. Each column represent one variable that you have in your research, like dependent variables, independent variables, and this VAR is the abbreviation for variable. And these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these numbers represent each cases, each participant in your data set. For example, this will be first participants' responses to each variable. So you might be thinking you need to write the name of the variable first. So you do not write this here. You write this here, but I'll show you how you do it. So first, you need to go to this tab. This is the data view. The other view is variable view. Here you are entering your variable types, and here you are entering your data for each variable. So, sorry. So usually in research, we start with the researcher ID. So you need to be careful about how to write these variable names. For example, researcher ID. You cannot write this because when we write variable names, we do not use space. We do not have gaps between the words we use. You can either, remove the gap, you can use underscore, but you cannot use any other symbol. Or research ID. Sorry, research ID should be research ID. So let's see what happens. As you can see, it's filled automatically for some aspects, but we need to check each aspect later on. So we come to data, and you can see it here. But as you can see, is research ID is a numeric variable? No, we are not going to do actually analysis. It's ID number, so we call it string. So when we call it string, when we come here, you are going to see these three bubbles instead of the other emblem. So other variable, what it can be. Also, you cannot use, for example, numbers before the variable name like this. One group, no. You can use the numbers at the end, like basically you cannot start with a number, but you can use the numbers for the rest. For example, you can write like this. So uppercase, lowercase really doesn't matter, but majority of people prefers lowercase. But it really depends. So I'm not going to talk much about the first because this is your research ID. Research ID usually comes automatically if you are using a software to collect data. It assigns numbers to each participant um, automatically. But if you don't, you can kind of give numbering yourself for your participants like this. And let's think about another type of variable. Let's think about age. Age is the numerical variable? Yes. Decimal point. Do we really need decimal point for age? Not really. So you can keep it 0. And label, actually very important. This is a very important place because this is the place where you actually explain your variable. For age, you may not need to have a label to explain, but let's say you are administering back depression inventory, and usually people abbreviate it, it's like this, back depression inventory. And maybe this is the answer to the first question of this questionnaire. So, and for that, you may not know what this is later on. For that, you may want to copy paste the question itself, or like you can write question 1. You can write this, or you can copy paste the question itself. So this is gonna show on our output like this. It's not gonna show like this, but if you give labels, this is very explanatory for the variable name, and you will see this in graphs as well. So, but I think, so this is a numerical variable. So, but the answers to this is like Likert scale. So maybe I will, um, okay. So let me clear this. I just wanted to show you why labels are important. And okay, for age, something happened. I'm not sure. So you can clear these variables. Somehow my computer created them automatically. Don't mind these things, don't worry, you're going well. So about missing variable, we need to talk about this in detail, but this is I'll show you in a bit. But is this a scale? And you need to also decide what kind of variable this is. We learned about like continuous variables. So it is for scale numerical variables. And then we have ordinal with like similar to kind of like showing first, second, third thing, ranking image next to it. And then you have these three bubbles for nominal variables. So is the scale? Yes. And this is the alignment for the cells, right? Let's say center for that so you can see. Let's enter some data. Age, let's think these are university students recently got into school. And then let's have one major student here. So this is our numerical variable. Let's have another one, gender. Is gender numeric? Not really. And the width is how many characters you can write in one column. So the 8 is like, it's fine. The good thing about this, and as you can see, I set string, it automatically turned into nominal. And then the important thing for these nominal variables is this values place. For example, we will have female option, and then we have male option. Okay. So, and let's say the female is 0 and the male is 1. Actually, it doesn't matter which number you are giving. It's just for the convenience for analysis to be orders and to, enter the data much more easily. So let's place. Okay. Let's see what happens. We arranged everything, and I am writing here male, and the options are automatically here because I give them the values, and this is male, and this is female. Let's say, let's make it female as well. And then we can make male. But the other good thing is you can just click on this button here and it will show you the values that we assign to these nominal categories. And if I just write 0, 1, and 0, and if you turn it, it's gonna become like this. So this is your nominal variable. And then the other thing, what might be, let's have something different. Date of birth. Date of birth itself, like the date you burn, like the date you were born, it's not actually numerical. It's like a string variable, and when you do it, you can actually this say that this is a date, and then you can choose the best option for you. And in label, you can say here date of birth, and this will appear on your output and graphs, and we don't need to assign values. So, and it is definitely not a scale variable. And when we come back here, let's say we wanted to add okay, it adds here. Can I enter some random numbers that does not really look like the date? Nope, it doesn't allow me. So it has to be proper dates that are actual. And let me just click in some things here. And sorry, guys. Okay, these are our date of birth. Um, you can calculate the age from date of birth, and entering the data as like date is that's why important. Otherwise, like it's not really that important. But other, okay, let's have a ordinal variable. Says, let's leave it like this, and um, I want to show you something, so I will leave it like this. So this socioeconomic status. And you can still add values for ordinal variables, here. For example, low, middle, high. As you can see, these are ranked. And let's say 1, 2, 3. And do you have, so you should choose ordinal from here. And of course, this is sometimes like we treat ordinal variables as numerical variables, but this is a bit advanced topic, so I'm skipping that part. Another thing I need to show you. Okay, let's show you some decimals. Sorry. Okay, we have height, it's a numerical variable, it's continuous, and we have decimal points here, and of course it's a scale. And as you can see, it's better to have them all, they look different places. Let's have all of them right aligned. Here I'm just putting numbers. Um, mm, and when I click on this, it's gonna be like this. And also, let's start putting some data for the height. Sorry. I think, just give me a second. Okay. As you can see, I am writing like 3 decimals, but it keeps them with the 2 decimals. And when I come back here, if I go to height and if I increase it to, let's say 8, okay, sorry, we cannot do this because I said like the field is low. Let's say like this. As you can see the decimal points like this. So it does not actually delete these numbers, but it only shows you the only 2 decimals or like 3 decimals. Usually we have 2 decimals. So it does not delete the decimal numbers. This is important because when we do analysis, it's better to keep all decimal points rather than rounding the number up or down. Um, so we are making sure the number is exact. But still, for the convenience, you can keep it at 2. Okay. I think that's all, guys, like for this data and variable view. And these are our data. Let me show you what are these things I forgot. This is where you can kind of open file, save your data, and you can go to case. For example, we have fourth case. When I say go, it's just fourth case here. And you can go to variable, let's say research ID. Oh, it's here. So you can find your data like this. It is very useful when you have very, very big, large data set. And again, go to variable. You can view your variables here. That's nice if you have a lot of variables. And well, we use these split file select cases. We are going to learn how to do these things as well. And you remember this one. The rest is not really important. And this looks very much like Excel file. And also you can right click on these variables. You can copy variables with labels. You can come here and paste. You have your variable here. Now you can clear it. You can clear the cases as well, like this. And also you can edit the variable name. Let's say you can sort the cases from smaller to bigger numbers, also from bigger to smaller numbers. And you can also insert variable like this if you need to insert some variable in between variables. Let's clear this. And then also you can insert cases like this in between variables if you need to. About missing values, as you can see here, let's make this like this. As you can see, we do have data for the first person. We have full data. But then for the third person, we do not have height, and the others also have um, missing data. So we call these areas missing data. The thing is, if you do not tell SPSS these are missing values, then SPSS will treat them differently. So that's why we also need to learn how to handle missing data. But for now, I will show you that we do not leave them blank. We assign them some numbers that will not be relevant to any of our variable. For example, let's say we come to age, and for missing variable, we want to say 999. So no one can be at the age of 999. We're going to click OK. We're going to come here. And for the age, we don't have actually missing value. So we are not going to write this. We are going to do the same for height here. And we can write this. So later on, we will see when SPSS makes analysis, it will clearly treat these values as missing values. Sometimes it does automatically, but this is something we do, to show that these are missing values. I guess that's all. I hope this lecture was helpful to you. And I will see you in the class. I will try to go over these details in the class as well. But it is really better if you watch this video a couple of times before you coming into class. And I hope you will benefit from watching it. And thank you. Just I will see you in the next tutorial video.